Okay. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classic, Non-Classic. This is episode number 1881. Yes?
This was at the front door tonight.
Yes, I know.
After you came home.
Yes, I know, but I have a chance to get out there.
You go on
Anyways. So, sorry about the interruption. My dad had to drop a package. Okay, so we have two DC trades again. Now, this first one was launched last year as a replacement for the Superman book. We have Superman, Sword of Kal-El. Volume 1, The Truth. As you can tell by the cover, it's a clear homage to Superman number 1, the original number 1 released back in the late 30s. Love this aspect here. When I told my friend Tiffy about this, he definitely thought this was a good... Now, he loves John Kent, and, like, one thing he didn't like about Bendis' run, one of the things he bigly hated about it, was aging up John Kent. He thought that was an absolute terrible idea. Oh, excuse me. Well, in case you're curious, though, this book does contain the first 6 issues of the series. Surprisingly, the Superman Robin one-shot by Tomasi is not in here. Nope. I'm thinking, where the heck is it? So, there is one aspect about this book that, as far as I can tell, it's been positively received. Except, here is something here. Okay, now, what happened in this book was something that caused a bit of confusion to happen. You see, in this book, John Kent was out as gay. Yep, and that's his boyfriend, The Truth. Yes, his boyfriend. Now, here's the problem with it. There was so much mass confusion about this. Like, oh crap, Superman's been this gay! And I think some people point out, though, no, it's not the Clark Kent Superman, it's his son. Yes, his only child has been outed as gay. Now, I don't really like this very much, but I at least gotta praise the fact Tom Taylor, who was the writer of this book, by the way, was artwork by John Timms, which I believe was the artist of Super Sons. Yes. Which, by the way, Rob makes a guest appearance in issue 1. And when he finds out that, well, John is basically gay, he has no problem with it. He's like, congratulations, man. Yeah, so John's got a boyfriend now. Yeah, and the way it's treated here, it's all like, oh, you have Superman going to something like a woman's apartment that you have basically this little device because he's like trying to suppress all the noise, and then a kiss happens. I'm like, wow, such cliche, Tom Taylor. At least got praise the fact this relationship is developed really well in here. Mm-hmm. Now, there's also a storyline here that started with this President Gorax of this foreign country that kind of, in a way, the best way to describe him is like the way Tom Taylor writes him, is like he's supposed to be John's Lex Luthor. Yeah, that's simply put his whole purpose of this character, is that he's supposed to be John's Lex Luthor. Except he's not in Metropolis, he's in a foreign country. Yep. But at least gotta say, for the start of the series, it's actually pretty good. Love it. Excuse me, I'm gonna give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Now, they do go a little bit backstory about Jay, where his mother was previous president, and apparently the current president is a foreigner. He's actually not from that country at all. So basically John is, working with, Jay to basically free the guy's mother. Okay. But it's a damn good series so far, and I'm enjoying it. A friend of mine that I know on Discord, he decided to drop this series because of how Tom Taylor wrote the friendship between John Kent and Nightwing, which he felt as though the Nightwing crossover has been unnecessary. That's the kind of the sell, but I'll basically talk about that when I get to start the second trade here. In case you're curious, though, does the original Superman Clark Kent does he appear in this series? Sporadically. He it's not his series. It's his son's book. So moving on from that. Next up, we have Green Arrow and Black Canary. This is the second volume for this series. Family Business. This collect issues 5 through 10 of Green Arrow. Yep. And this is a really fun book here. So, still done by Joe Winnick, artwork by Mike Norton, Cliff Chang, Andres Calillo, Wayne Fucher, and Roddy Ramos. By the way, Cliff Chang has the original cover this here. Mostly for this one, we have the whole story for this one is that Oliver Queen is looking for his missing son, Connor, who's gone missing from the hospital. Yeah. Yeah, so they go searching for him. And, of course, Oliver talks to his former protege, Red Air, who's part of the Justice League at this point. So they go searching for Connor, and, of course, they come across some aliens. And then he decides to contact Green Lantern, like, oh, these aliens? No, not really, just guys in costumes. And this is so funny. Who frisk and cuff these idiots? Ollie. He with me and Dearden, which is so funny. Very nice job. So, still have not found where the heck he is. The whole thing of this one searching for Connor is gone missing. And then we have this guy called Dogger, who basically is brought in here to be a love interest for Mia Dearden. That's really the whole purpose of this guy. Yep, so he kind of becomes involved with the Arrow family. And basically, the people who kidnapped kidnapped Connor was League of Assassins. Ra's al Ghul. Yep, so they figure out Ra's al Ghul is involved with this. And Batman basically confirms, nope, this is not him. By the way, he does mention he's confined to Arkham Asylum. This is actually a small nod to Resurrection Ra's al Ghul, because this is basically where he was sent at that crossover. Yeah, so he was sent to that, but Arkham Asylum because he's insane. Yes, Ra's al Ghul being insane. So, yeah, and of course, well, then they go out searching for this island. They think League of Assassins, like, oh, come across this chamber, like, I think it's Connor, like, who's in there? And they open up, and it's Plastic Man! Yes, Plastic Man of all people. Like, okay, so it turns out, nope, it's not the League of Assassins, so, yeah. Yeah, of course, then he go like, they took Connor, we've been looking for, tell me everything. Yep, and of course, Mia's with Dogger, and then we have these people who's basically with him. And yeah, these guys are supposedly the new League of Assassins, and it turns out not really. Yeah, and of course they have Batman Air. That should be saying yes. Of course we gotta have Batman here because Joe Winnick basically wrote his comic book. He wrote possibly one of the best stories in the last 20 years, Under the Red Hood, which is a damn good story. Yep, a lot of really fun stuff here. And of course, it finds out, nope, these are not the League of Assassins, and they're not working for Ra's al Ghul. I think it's Ra's, but nope, not really. Yeah, and of course, basically, Batman meets up, talks about the real Ra's, and of course, basically, like, this leads into the very next show, which we'll talk about in the very next Comic Corner. But this is good. Really good stuff here. Love it. I'm going to give this Green Arrow trade a 10 out of 10. It's just so fun reading this stuff. Okay, so that's it. Next up, more Green Arrow and back to Preacher. Yes, seriously, Preacher. Okay, next video. Bye.